Buckeye Nation, it's here. The wait is over. The long off season, the trash talk, the talking heads, the transfer portal drama, the recruiting battles, it all has led up to today. This it's not just another Saturday in the shoe, guys. This is a clash of the Titans. The number 3 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, your defending national champions, are ready to defend that throne. Standing in their way, the number 1 team in the nation, the Texas Longhorns, the team they took down in the semifinal last year. This is a team that's been crowned in the offseason by all the media. This is the team that's been crowned, or the Heisman winning quarterback as crowned by the media. But guys, Vegas has the Buckeyes as a 1-point favorite. And that's not by accident. What we are talking about here is strength versus strength, firepower versus firepower. And in Columbus, the question isn't if the Buckeyes can play with the best. It's whether Texas, the so-called best in the nation, can survive 4 quarters in the shoe with the Buckeyes. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think so. Not today, not in our house, not to our champs. So Buckeye fans, strap in. Get those calls fired up. Let's bring the heat. I want your predictions. I want them in the chat. I want them on the calls. Your predictions. If anyone nails the prediction exactly today, I'm going to send something out for you. Guys, it's game day. This is the OHIO Podcast Game Day call-in show. My name, if you are new to the chat, is the Wildman, Chris Wilds. We've got a couple callers in queue already, but the phone lines are open. 567-483-1999. And guys, I want to hear it. I want you to bring it today. Every caller, you got to bring it to me today. I need that energy. Before we get started on the calls, just let me remind you, we are the official podcast of Scarlet and Game and Fansided. Going over to Scarlet and Game and check out lots of articles written by fine journalists such as our own Eric Buckeye Boggs. Also, DK, we're going to address that one, buddy. Also, we are the official podcast of the College Huddle. Go on over to the College Huddle and check out podcasts from 85 different teams from around the country, covering the entire span of the college football universe. Guys, please like, share it now. Let's get this show out there. Share it now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you ring that bell so you know when we drop new content. And guys, if you like what we do here, give us $3.99 a month. You can become an official member. Best deal in town. Great behind-the-wall content. Free shipping from our online store. Those of you who recently had signed up got access to our online Ohio State football preview magazine. Free t-shirt after your first renewal. Guys, it's a great deal. $3.99 a month. All right. So I see we got 3 callers in queue already. Let's light up them lines. We got 5 lines that are open. We're going to go to our first caller, coming from the 859, and I have a feeling I know who this is. Vader, is this you?
Hey Wildman, it's Vader. How's it going?
Oh man, I'm
Game
pumped
day
up.
is finally here.
You're right. Game day is finally here. I am so pumped up. What are your thoughts on the game today, Vader?
My final game prediction is a low-scoring defensive battle. I have the Buckeyes winning 24-21.
Yeah, I could see that. That's guys, this is not going to be a shootout. Everybody wants to talk about two five-star quarterbacks. Everybody wants to talk about all these offensive weapons that Julian Sand has. Guys, this is not going to be a huge shootout. This is not going to be a huge blowout. If it is, either way, it would surprise me. I think if there's a blowout to be had, Ohio State will be the one dishing it out. But I don't feel like a blowout here, guys. This is a good Texas team. Are they a great Texas team? We're going to find out in just under 2 hours. But this is a Texas team that, is basically has a whole new front line. 4 of their 5 starters right now from last year in the NFL. It's an Ohio State team who has a slightly revamped front line, even though we saw the majority of ours last year in the playoffs, and man, it was impressive. 2 highly touted quarterbacks. 2 very highly regarded receivers. 2 very highly regarded defenses. I think Vader's onto something here. I think we're going to have a lower scoring game. I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's 47 or 47 and a half was the last I saw on the over-under on this one. And if that's the case, I'm hammering the under. It could be close. It could be close. I actually think I predicted slightly over that. I predicted about 52 total points. I chose Ohio State 31-21, but I would not be surprised if the under doesn't come in. Vader, what else is on your mind today?
The last 2 days, Texas fans have called me everything from using outdated information to outright lying. I would like to address these accusations.
Go ahead, brother.
Texas faithful say Texas offensive line did have problems, but those issues have been corrected. This is highly unlikely. My source witnessed third practice only a few days before I first reported what I was told. Was there a small improvement? Yes, but it was against basic 4-man cage rushing against the scout team. Could Texas improve in the last week? I guess anything is possible, but in my opinion you can't improve enough in week 1, especially going up against a Matty P defense that nobody, including myself, has any clue what it will look like. Not to mention overcoming injuries and no chemistry. Finally, all the Texas fans who are accusing me of giving a homer take or flat out lying. This information came from inside your own camp, from one of your own. He has been a great friend and for over 20 years and gave me full permission to share this on the podcasts I produce. You have every right to not expect what I offer, but ask yourself, do you really not believe my intel, or is it deep down, do you know it's true?
Yeah, that's a great question, Vader, because, and I'm going to throw it out there. A lot of times disinformation is handed out, but I can honestly say that everything that you've reported to us, Vader, every tip you've given myself, Sean, Eric, TG, everything's been on spot on the money. But for me, I think this is a Texas fan base that is in a great deal of denial. They're concerned, and it's fair to be concerned. You're revamping your offensive line, and everybody says, well, Matt Patricia's defense, we don't know what it's going to look like. And they're right. They're right. Everybody's saying that this offensive line is good enough to withstand anything we could throw at them. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think we have a really, really good defense. And I think we're going to see things that we don't even know about. I mean, this is not basic base defense anymore. You've got some guys who are so versatile. I mean, literally, you've got Sonny Styles, who started out at safety, is playing linebacker, and is an absolute beast. But is big enough where he could probably line up at the edge. You've got Caleb Downs, who's our safety. But is he our safety or is he our slot? He's big enough to slide up to linebacker. I mean, come on. We have so much versatility. We got guys on our front line, and people are concerned about our interior depth on that front line of the defense. I get it. Guys, I get it. But we have so many guys that can move in. We could kick somebody like Bo Atkinson into the 3 if we needed to. We could kick Caden Curry or Kenyatta in if we had to. We have got a lot of depth. We don't have a lot of experience. But for the love of God, Texas fans and national media, admit you don't have a lot of experience either. These are not the same two teams that played last year. You got anything else for us today, Vader?
I want to get this pizza boy Dave Portnoy controversy put to bed. I don't know if Fox or the Ohio State University are keeping him out of the horseshoe. Here's the thing, if we did ban him, we not only have the absolute right to ban him, but it is the undeniable right thing to do. Dave Portnoy on his worldwide sports platform claimed multiple times he didn't care, and he said it didn't matter. He didn't even try to deny it or offer lame excuses. If he was a private citizen, he has a right to his opinion, but when you are a member of not one but now 2 major media companies, you are held to a higher standard. You can't endorse cheating. Dave Portnoy should be banned not only from the horseshoe but every university stadium until he recants or resigns. I'm also calling on all college football fans to boycott Fox pregame.
Yeah, Vader, that's something I've had a big push on this week. Fans of college football, specifically our friends there in Columbus, let's show with numbers that we don't approve of them hiring this moron to go out there and spew his venom. Dave Portnoy is an ignorant, arrogant frat boy with a trust fund who knows pizza and trash talk, zero about sports. He doesn't deserve to be on the same stage as guys like Urban Meyer. And that's why he won't be. Vader, Fox, from a report I read, Fox has actually said Portnoy will not be an onstage presence in any of the Big Ten venues. And if you're not an onstage presence, you typically don't get into the game early. You don't get up there on the stage, you don't get into the stadium. As for if it was Ohio State or if it was Fox, I believe 100% it was Fox. I also believe that this whole fiasco this week was perpetrated by a leak by Portnoy and his people specifically. They did this to draw attention to themselves. This guy is such a narcissist, he can't stop himself from needing attention. And I am happy he's not going to be in the shoe. I wish he wasn't a part of Fox at all. Fox really, they threw everything they'd done for the last few years out the window when they hired this moron. And it's only going to be a short time before they realize that. But while he's there, Buckeye fans, Texas fans, if you're at the shoe, anytime Fox Big Noon Kickoff is on Columbus or in Columbus, do not visit it. Go to game day if they're there, or avoid both. I don't care, because I can't stand Desmond Howard any more than I can Portnoy, but at least Howard. You've got to respect the fact that he played on the field. You got to respect that. Pat McAfee, notorious big mouth. But you know what? You got to respect the fact that he played on the field. They bring something. Portnoy brings nothing but ignorance, arrogance, and a bad attitude. He should be gone. You're absolutely right, Vader. Anything else before we move on to our next caller, buddy?
That's all I got, Wildman. Thanks for doing a pre-game show for us and for having me on. If you need any
Absolutely.
help with the rest of the pregame or the Game Watch show, don't hesitate to text me. Remember, we could be only 5.5 months away from Feinbaum moving to a lovely place in Eastern Mediterranean City. I'm happy to buy a one-way ticket first class. Everyone, you asked for a pre-show, Eric and Chris delivered, so get a membership or do a super chat. Oh. H.
All right, buddy. Hey, I appreciate it. All right, that was our first caller. That was our buddy Buck Vader. You can catch out some of his work on the Buckeye Lounge and the Buckeye Ladies. He is a producer of both those shows and does a fabulous job for us on those. Next call, we're going to the 910. Maybe. There we go.
Chris,
How's it going, brother?
I'm great. I'm great. So I heard Portnoy got in a fight earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's supposedly what happened today. He also got in a fight with fans.
Well, you know, that's, again, when you're talking about somebody who is such a obnoxious, narcissistic, just word that our family friendly rating prevents me from sharing. You know, that's what you're going to get out of somebody like that. And that's what his shtick is. Although I think the guy's 5'2". He probably shouldn't be trying to pick a fight with anybody over the age of 12.
But you stopped the fight, Eric, Chris?
Probably Urban.
And shut him up?
Probably Urban.
Oh, it was Urban.
I have no doubt. And we got our buddy Lance Crosley here. Big Noon is dead to me. Lance, we all share that opinion, buddy. Thank you. So what's on your mind today, bud?
Chris, I watch a whole lot of Texas, their media, and they've been claiming that this game could be a blowout.
That all started with Big Ears over there, and
I know, but also I know it started with Feinbaum, but
yeah,
they've also gone along with it. I'm like, first they've been saying 42 points, 31 points, 24 points. I'm like, we played you guys earlier this year and you scored 14. How are you gonna get 42?
Here's the thing, Tyler. Thinking this is going to be a blowout on either side is absolutely absurd. I've got this as a 10-point spread, and I think that may even be a little bit excessive. I've got Ohio State winning this 31-21. That's a little excessive, possibly on my part. There is a good chance. There's a very good chance that the first team to 24 wins this game. You've got two young quarterbacks, neither of them really proven. One's got a name, and that's what they're basing this off of, because they sure as hell aren't looking at the facts. The facts are they have 4 out of their 5 offensive linemen who are new. The best of those is out for the season with injury.
And their
which
left
is
tackle has
Kojo.
a broken hand.
Their left tackle is dealing with a hand-wrist injury, and he's considered a game-time decision, but I've heard there's a chance he doesn't play.
I guarantee he's going to play.
He is going to play?
No, I guarantee you he wants to play because...
Well, I guarantee he wants to play too, because I do believe these competitors, these kids that are competitors like that, they want to get out on the field. And Texas kids are tough. Call them what they are. They are tough-ass ball players, man. So, yeah, maybe he does want to play. But I don't know that he will. There's been grumblings.
Yep. And, hey, Chris, if he don't play, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, another thing that's really been infuriating me in this leading up to this game, Chris. I told this to Sean and Vader. Why exactly do you, let me try. I don't understand how Matt Patricia going into this game, Texas fans think they're just going to run over him in his defense. I think this is the best defense in college football again, but Texas thinks that they're just Arch Manning is going to just go bombs over Baghdad and just throw over our heads all day long.
Yeah, and there's two parts to that, Tyler. First part is this. They have got so much confidence in a kid who threw 90 passes against crap teams last year that they think he is the second coming of Uncle Peyton. Guys, I'm here to tell you he's not the same quarterback. I'll tell you this, he's more athletic than the other Mannings. You do have to respect the legs.
Yep.
But he is not, I don't think he is near the passer that Peyton or Eli was. And I think we're going to see that when he has to actually play real cornerbacks. The other part with that, and this has been a big reason I think people are favoring Texas. You mentioned it. You mentioned one of them anyhow. You mentioned the coordinator. You mentioned Patricia. Everybody's placing so much on the Matt Patricia and Brian Hartline. Guys, I don't think it makes the difference you think it does. I really don't. We have seen so much from Patricia as far as him tinkering and playing and throwing things out there that you're at least going to have to consider. He's a mad genius. But I think what Texas fans are caught up in is something that, honestly, I was initially caught up in. I think a lot of Buckeye fans were initially caught up in. They're thinking about Matt Patricia, the head coach of Detroit. They're not thinking about Matt Patricia, the coordinator with New England or with Philadelphia, or you know what I'm saying? They're thinking of what he does as a head coach.
Chris, you know what we call that?
What's that?
Assuming.
Yes. And you know what happens when you assume?
Makes an ass out of you and me.
That's right. So.
But here's the other frustrating thing too, Chris. I'll say this and I'll end it. Their fans, it's like, I understand being confident going this game. I understand it. But the delusion of Texas fans is borderline Michigan right now.
Oh, that's harsh. That is hard. Do you think they're that bad? I mean, I can see some where I would agree with you.
I've been listening to them, Chris. They have been that delusional.
That's that. If you've sunk to that level. That's sad if you sunk to that level.
And they've sunken. I'll tell you how low they've sunk to, Chris. They've resorted to, you got lost to Michigan, so makes you irrelevant. So I was like this. So we beat you guys last year, so what does that make you?
Absolutely. Absolutely right. Here's the deal, Tyler.
On top of that, Chris.
What's that?
On top of that, they resorted up to our record against Clemson, too.
You know, here's the thing, and I'm just going to throw this out here. Texas, you've been back. Ever since Vince Young left. We always hear Texas is back. Texas is back. They had a few down years. Texas is back. Over a decade now, I've heard Texas is back. All that Texas has brought back is disappointment every year to their fans. You might be number one in the polls, But let me tell you, after 4 quarters in Columbus, you're not going to be number one anymore, and there will be no excuses. Now, let me ask you this before you go, Tyler, because there's something that's bothered me about this. Have you heard about the officiating crew?
Oh, I know it's the SEC.
How do we have an SEC crew officiating this game?
That is so asinine. Because you know why I also find that asinine, Chris? Because on 97.1 The Fan, they said, when we go to Texas, it's going to be the Big Ten that's going to be officiating that game.
Yeah, but here's my problem with this. You have a game of this magnitude between teams this highly rated,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to keep this as clean as possible. I think you want to keep this as far away from controversy as possible. Why don't you have an ACC or Big 12? Yeah, why don't you have an ACC or Big 12 crew officiating this game?
See, that would make too much sense, Chris, but you know it's the SEC.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, I feel great about this game. I really believe Ohio State's going to come out and do their thing. But I would also say this, and I heard Jonathan Wells going off on this the other night, and it's something that we've said a few times. Guys, let's remember, early on, both these quarterbacks are not going to look good. It's not. They're just not. And if they do, that's great. But you're talking about two young men, especially Julian Sain, who's really getting his first starting nod. You got to be patient. You got to give a little grace. Stay cheering for this kid. Keep rooting him on to victory. Keep rooting on this young team to victory. Because once they get a few of these wins, especially big wins under their belt, then the confidence really kicks in.
Before I go, Chris, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
How desperate do you have to be at Texas to resort to using Michigan as your argument that your team is better than us? Why did I say it like that? Than us.
They've got nothing. They got no argument. There is no argument there. In fact, Tyler, I refuse to dignify that one. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'm going to be a new Wildman this year. Am I going to be a little crazy at times? Absolutely. But you know what? I'm trying to ignore that which we cannot affect.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot affect the ignorance of the NCAA. We can't affect what happened August 15th. We cannot affect the moronic rants of scum fans. And we cannot affect the total ignorance of Texas fans when they start hitching their wagon to these morons. So
honestly, Chris,
I'm focusing on what we can do.
If we score every touchdown, Chris, I wish the band would play Boomer Sooner as a big,
Yeah, that would be a fun troll. That would be a fun troll. I don't know if I do it every time, but maybe on that first one would be a fun try because you're playing a little bit of a mind game there. And I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
And I'll end my call now, Chris.
All right, Tyler. That's good. We have 4 lines lit up. I'm about to drop one off, so we'll have another line open for you guys. Phone number is 567-483-1999. And Andre, great question. Is it fair to root for the uniform or root for the individual? You know what? I do a little bit of both. I do. Um, More so, I root for the individual in the NFL than I do the team a lot of times, and that's become a lot because of my how disgruntled I am as a Cleveland Browns fan. But my first loyalty when I'm rooting is always to the name on the front of the jersey. When you're talking about Ohio State, when you're talking about college football, when you're talking about something that still means something to me, I'm rooting for the name on the front of the jersey. But yeah, I'm going to root for the name on the back. I'm going to root for Tyler to go out there and have, or I'm sorry, Julian to go out there and have a great game. I'm going to root for JJ to go have a great game. I'm going to root for Carnell to have a great game. But them having great games is very likely to reflect in us having a great game for the Ohio State University. So yes, I think you can root for both. But like if you go to the pros, I've been a lifelong Browns fan. I'm rooting for Will Howard and Jack Sawyer over at Pittsburgh, even though they are hated rivals. I root for Joe Burrow, even though he left and played ball down at LSU. He was an Ohio kid, an Ohio State product at one time, and I think first of all, I think he's a fun guy to watch and just a fun guy to follow because he's just a great character. But yeah, you can. For me, it's okay to root more for the team, the name on the back, in the pros. When you're talking about the college game, I'm still rooting for the team on the front. All right, next caller. Speedman, what's happening?
What's happening, baby? It's game day.
Yes, sir, it is. It is game day. The talk is over. It's time to go out and throw those Bevo steaks on the grill.
That's right, baby. That's right.
So, what are your thoughts on today's game?
What's that?
What are your thoughts on the game today?
I think it's going to be rather low scoring too. I put my prediction up there 24-17.
Yep.
Favor the Bucks. Because I think early on in the it's easier for a defense to unsettle an offense that doesn't have a proven quarterback. And that could go both ways, like I said. So that's why I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Like I said, it's just easier for a defense to kind of come together at the beginning of the year as well, while the offense is still trying to get their footing as a rhythm.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Typically, the defenses do look a little sharper at the beginning of the year. And I'm really excited to see what this defense does. I want to see just what Matt Patricia can dial up because, and when we said about Jim Knowles in year 3, we're saying it about Matt Patricia now. Man, look at the toys this guy has to play with.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'm sorry, but Matt Patricia, he has been a head coach in the NFL, man. He's got coaching experience up the wazoo. They must have put him there, because he's pretty doggone smart. I'm not saying he's going to be better than those. I'm not going to say he's going to be any worse. But, I mean, come on. We're just rolling with this. We got what we got, and I think he's a damn good coach. And the players seem to take him really well. So,
yeah.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on anything else today? Any thoughts on, and I asked Tyler about this a little bit ago. And why don't we have an SEC officiating crew doing this thing? That bothers me.
Man, I don't know. I actually didn't know that until you guys were just talking about it. I think it's utterly ridiculous. Like you said, it would have been way better. I mean, I understand if they didn't want a Big Ten, at a Big Ten stadium, blah, blah, blah.
But an ACC or a Big 12.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's more than a plethora of refs that can do this game, man. Like you said, ACC, Big 12, I mean, we've got MAC conference here, all over the Midwest. I mean, I don't know if they'd be up for it, but, I mean, still, come on. We can't have a conference refereeing staff from one of the teams. It just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, if you think about it, think about how bad the officiating was in the Cotton Bowl last year. How many times did JT or Jack get held?
Oh my God.
And kind of makes me want to put a prop bet out there for over under calls on holding against the Texas line at 1. Because I feel like I don't like the SEC having the officials out there. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think they can be trusted. To me, this should have been a non-conference, or yes, Brian, a split crew with SEC and Big Ten officials. That would have even been acceptable.
Yeah, that's a thought. But just to take any kind of mitigation out of it and all that, why not just get one from a separate conference that's not even affiliated with the two teams playing?
Yeah, I agree. So we have somebody, and I'm going to ask you about your opinion on this guy too, in a second. Trent messaged into us that Portnoy's segment on Fox was complete garbage. If that's what he's paid for to do, Fox paid to do, Fox made one of the worst contract deals ever in history. What do you think about Portnoy? Do you have an opinion on him?
Other than he's a blubbering idiot, no. Guy probably for 6 months to a year now. I don't care what he's got to say. I don't respect him. I don't respect his opinions. No, I'm done with that cat, man. He's not even worth listening to, and I'm not going to be willing to invest any type of energy or time in listening to his idiocy.
I got you. Anything else today, Speed?
But yeah, I wanted to. You guys talk about Joey Burrow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, he played football for Athens High School.
Yes, he did.
Which is only an hour away from me. Of course, in his Heisman speech, he brought up the 740. That's our area code. He talked about how the I don't want to say population or whatever, how we're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? We're not as well off as some of the bigger cities and all that stuff.
Right.
He donated a large portion of money to the food bank for Southeast Ohio, and I think that he just donated his some kind of bonus or something like that.
His signing bonus, or his yeah,
which was like what was it, 10 million or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, the kid, he is head and shoulders above, and
he's a class act. Sure. Class act completely.
Yeah. And he's such a good guy. I love to watch him play too. He's exciting. Of course, he plays for the Bengals. That's my team. My wife loves the Brownies. So we cheer for our teams, but as far as also I cheer for individuals who played for Ohio State. And there's a few other players, of course, that caught my eye in college, whatever. I like to see them do well as well.
That's what I said.
Joey Burrow is in it.
Will Howard, yeah.
I think, yeah, he's just a great ambassador from Southeast Ohio. He leads by example, and I think the world would be a heck of a lot better place if a lot of the other NFL people would kind of follow him.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree 100% agree with what you're saying. All right, Speed. Well, I'll tell you, I want you to enjoy that game. Maybe turn down the TV. Dr. Corey and I will be on at noon with the game watch, so make sure you tune into us there, man.
Oh, I sure will, brother. I'll probably I'll be watching the game at the American Legion.
All right.
In Galveston, and I'll have you guys on the live watch sitting beside me. So, yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Share us with a few of them guys down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
And let them know that my family descended from down on the farm, man.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I've already told a bunch of them. But, yeah. So if you guys could give a shout out to American Legion Post 27, Gallipolis, Ohio.
All right. You said that's 27?
Yeah. Legion Post 27. During your last podcast, during the Gamecast or whatever. And all I got to say, brother, is horns down and OH.
Absolutely. I-O. Go Bucks. And guess what? Texas sucks.
That's right, brother. Hey, y'all have a great day.
You too.
Everybody in Buckeye Land in the chat, that was great to see you guys. And let's get her done, man. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Let's go. Man, it's been great this morning, but business is about to pick up. I have been excited for this call all morning. Not that I haven't wanted to talk to everybody else, but I've been excited for this call all morning. Because I know she's going to make us think about something. She's going to give us a little tidbit to think about, good, bad, or otherwise. TG, you're on. What you got?
Yo, what up, Chris?
I've been waiting for this call, TG. I've been waiting for this one.
I know. I know. So let's talk about the Texas game.
Let's do this.
I have been, and me and Mika talked about it yesterday, but I could dive even deeper into my thoughts because, yes, I've listened to the Texas people talking about how they talked about this game and all the hoopla. I really don't care what they say because I'm like, you guys are just like Michigan fans. You guys are just like all the other Tennessee fans where it's like it takes you getting embarrassed for you to kind of just shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about this. Your offensive line is terrible. Sure, you look great against a scout team. You look good. You improved against the scout team. Not against your actual D line, which is concerning. And where your biggest weaknesses have been, obviously, I mean, the interior offensive line is terrible. Let me start there. Like, it's terrible. But it's worse when it comes to the tackles. The tackles are even worse. So, for our defensive line, Ohio State has the clearest advantage on defense in the trenches on our D-line.
And TG,
I think Kenyatta is going to show out.
I was going to say, the tackles are an issue right now. You got one with a broken hand. The best one is out for sure. And let me tell you,
I mean, actually,
we've got 6 defensive ends who are ready to eat.
Chris, let me tell you something. Even before the injury to their other tackle, they weren't really good. They weren't really good that time before either. So it's like, yes, while he was your best tackle, your offensive line still wasn't good, and your tackles were still a concern at the end of the day. They were still a concern even before the injuries happened. So it really just shows that their offensive line development, and the great thing is for Ohio State, I think that the best part is we have so much depth on our offensive line that if injuries happen, we're not as worried. And the talent is just pure. Bro, we got 10, 12 guys that can start. Our starting 5, and then our backups, we got legit 6, 7, 8 dudes that can start. So when you pretty much think about it, for Ohio State, it's like your offensive line might actually be the strength. Now, I do think their defensive line is really good. I'm not going to deny that. But I've talked about this with Mika yesterday. It's not like as if our offensive line can't block them, because last year, and for granted the offensive line is we don't have Donnie or Josh anymore. We have Austin now starting to tackle and Ethan. But I would tell you, Ethan is better than Josh. And when you watch Collins, their tackle, and they're not their tackle, their edge rusher, and their other edge rusher, when they went up against Donnie and Fryer, Donnie and Fryer were blocking the mess out of their edge rushers. Like, they had no problem blocking them. And if you watch Arizona State the game before, it was the same way. Like Arizona State was blocking their D tackles and their edge rushers. Their offensive line was having a field day against that D line, and so were we.
Yeah.
The thing that hurt us was penalties. Like, as much as people were talking about, look at the challenge Texas gave Ohio State. Yeah, because Ohio State had a lot of penalties.
Yeah, exactly.
After Travion Henderson hitting them in the face mask. Like, if those penalties don't happen, do we all really believe this game would be close as it was before? Because the beginning of that game looked like this was going to be another Tennessee Oregon game. That's what that beginning of that game looked like. Because Ohio State's offense was just dominating their defense, and our defense was dominating their offense. Like, the only problem we had was when they had passes to the backfield out of the running back. That was it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I don't know that I don't feel more confident about that this year. Because as good as the guys were last
that's
year,
what I want to get into.
as good as our guys were
Yeah.
this past year, if you think about the three guys who are going to be primarily responsible for the middle of that field, if a running back's pulling out, and that's going to be your two linebackers and possibly your nickel guy might be in there, right? So
Yeah.
if we're playing Caleb in the nickel, and you look at the freaks that we've got at linebacker this year, because don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from Cody Simon, but Styles and oh, I can't believe I just forgot our linebacker's name. I know the name, Arvell Reese. Styles and Arvell Reese. Absolute freaks. Peyton, yeah.
Gary, you got Garrett, you got Riley, you got CJ, you got Eli. Like the linebacker room is ridiculously deep.
Yeah, and I mean, but the three that'll be out there primarily, which would be Sonny, Arvell, you'd have to think, and you know, I could see us using Caleb quite a bit in the nickel if need be.
Yeah, I think we are, and I do think, and we're also going to be using Lorenzo because I believe he's going to be starting nickel from what I heard. Which I'm not.
And he should be.
When he did get some nickel time last year, he was actually really freaking good. And this is the other thing I want to touch on because I've seen somebody from inside Texas talk about the defensive backs of Ohio State saying they're not going to be good and that Ryan Wingo's going to feel there. And I'm like, you know what's super funny? No. Because here's what my response was to that. You know what's super funny? You're saying that, but the same defensive backs you're talking about are the same guys from last year that were going against Ryan Wingo. And Ryan Wingo couldn't get open for a worth of flies. Like David Ibenolson had a flawless game against Texas up until like the fourth quarter where for some reason they started throwing holding penalties even when he wasn't doing that. But they just decided to call it anyway. They just called it on him in the fourth quarter. But for most of that, legit, most of that game, especially at the beginning of the fourth quarter, he was not getting no holding penalties. Like he was covering Texas's wide receivers like no tomorrow. Denzel Burke was elite against him as well. But then, Ohio State took him out of the game because he had a little bit of an injury. It wasn't anything super serious, but they weren't willing to take chances, especially with injuries, how hard he's been hitting the team.
Right.
And they put in Jermaine Matthews. Jermaine Matthews went up against Ryan Wingo. He got shut down by Jermaine Matthews. And Lorenzo Styles, whenever he got in the game, like obviously we had Hancock. And he went up against Hancock, got shut down. When he went up against Lorenzo, he'd have a good field day. So, tell me this. How are you going to tell me that our defensive backs are going to get trounced by your wide receivers when this is the same group that went up against your wide receivers last year? Even though, again, Jermaine, he's had experience as a starter because we had him filling in for Denzel back in his freshman year when Denzel got injured. And then when he comes in again, he's gotten a lot of playing time, even as a backup, but he has the experience of starting, including in big-time games, and he goes in that game, he just handles your wide receivers like no tomorrow. So, tell me this. Same with Lorenzo. So, tell me, how are you going to tell us our defensive backs are good when this is the same group of guys? It's just that they're now getting, again, David Ibenolson, he's the same starter he was the past 2 years. Freaking Jermaine Matthews and Lorenzo are officially getting full-time starting, and then the backups are every bit as good. I hear a lot about Devin Sanchez, so I was like, he might get some playing time. Yep. Aaron Scott got some playing time in the playoffs a couple last year. He was really good. Same with Bryce Weston. That's who's going to be the backup to Lorenzo, and those guys were really freaking good. So tell me. And then we got who we got out? Caleb Downs, Jalen McClain, Malik Hartford. Brother, we got some freaks at safety right now. Even with Langston gone, Jalen McClain, he moves and hits like Langston Ransom. He's everything I see.
And I'll tell you,
moves and hits just like him.
You can even roll down and talk about the next wave where you've got Fahim Delane. He's a talented kid.
Yeah.
Keenan Nelson, a talented kid.
Freshmen up in here that are freaking talented, man. It's ridiculous. So you're going to tell us our defensive backs aren't good, but when you're talking about the guys who are going to be going against your starters are the same guys from a year ago that had no problem against your receivers whatsoever. They were locking them dudes down.
And here's the thing.
Then you look.
TG, I think we could actually take Aaron Scott Jr., Bryce West, and Devin Sanchez and put them out there, and I think they would do just fine against Texas. I really do.
Of course they would.
Our second team guys would go out there and I think be just as good, if not better. I'm so sick of the overrated Texas. I am so sick. And if somebody tells
Actually,
me
I'm so
Arch for
listen
Heisman
here, like,
one more
the
time.
Other thing is, bro, the other thing is too, like, did you hear that one of the Texas insiders actually claimed that Ryan Wingo is their version of Jeremiah Smith? I laughed at that. So
I heard
hard.
that idiot.
Like, bro, Toxic Mafia is what myself and Sean call our group of friends with Tyler, Lacey, Steely, Aaron, and another member of our group, Troy. Like, bro, we were cooking the F out of that whole statement because we said, it's funny, Jeremiah Smith, who had 78 catches, to Ryan Wingo, who had 29. And think about it, too. Like, Jeremiah Smith was on a wide receiving core full of elite. I mean, bro, how many catches did Emeka Buka have? Like 60?
Yeah.
Like 60-something? Like, he had, like, over 60. And Carnell Tate, I think, got somewhere around, like, 50-something catches. And he had, like, 733 yards. Almost 1,000 yards. And it's like...
Actually, I got the breakdown for you, TG. Emeka actually went off for 81. He led the team in receptions. Emeka was eight.
That's right. He broke the reception.
Yeah, Emeka was 81 for 1,011 yards. Jeremiah went 76 for 1,315. Carnell went 52 for 733.
And think about that. Like, you talk about the best receiving unit where you had Emeka Buka who led the team in reception. Jeremiah Smith who had second, and you had freaking Carnell third. Like, dude, that is no slouch right there. You had that many catches among your receiving unit, your starters alone, and this guy was breaking freshman records. Bro, if you don't get out of here with Ryan Wingo, I think he's a good receiver. But you're trying to compare him to Jeremiah Smith? Jeremiah Smith, generational. You're talking about the next incarnation of Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe even better than Marvin. And you can make an argument if he continues the trajectory he's on, could be better than Chris Carter. I'm just saying.
Wow. Now, numbers-wise, I know he's going to be better than Chris Carter because of the era.
I'm saying from a standpoint just at Ohio State, if he continues the trajectory he's on. He continues that trajectory, he could be. I ain't saying he is. I'm saying he could be if he continues the trajectory.
And I get that because if you look at that, you're talking about a freshman last year, second on the team in catches, but led the team in yards, yards per catch, and touchdowns, where he accounted for nearly half of Ohio State's touchdowns receiving last year. Ohio State.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like Ohio State has slouches at receiver, brother. You're talking about one of the best. So, like, that's where I would say for Texas, you have to really consider the fact that the people of Texas insiders, listen, you have a good team, but stop overrating yourself. Like, us at Ohio State can easily say, like, listen, you can say it's an even matchup, but even I can tell you our defensive backs last year was shutting down your wide receivers without a problem. Where the issue was, where the passing yards came from, was when you were throwing to your running backs out of the backfield. Like, that's where the problems in the passing game really were, not your receivers. Now, every now and again, your receivers will make some catches, but not like as if y'all were tearing us up.
By the way,
when you look at the defense right now,
TG, by comparison, Ryan Wingo was 7th on his team in receptions.
I'm not surprised.
He was 7th on his team. I'm sorry, 5th on his team in receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was third on his team in yards per catch. And Ryan Wingo blew it up with 2 touchdowns last year. And you're gonna compare him to the greatest player in the game
Jeremiah
right now.
Smith. Okay. Yeah, like Texas, you're Jeremiah Smith. Okay, get real. You're talking about, this could be the game he has to break out. I don't think so, because you're going up against the best defensive backs in the country, brother. Like, stop. Like, again, Texas fans, stop being idiots like Tennessee. Stop being idiots like Oregon. Stop being idiots entirely, because you know better. Like, brother, you got a good team, but let's not pretend as if your team is this juggernaut. Like, you got way more holes than Ohio State. I'm sorry to tell people, but Ohio State's only biggest hole is at, like, where you're not so sure would be running back. But even I'm confident that the running back will be fine. I'm confident James Peoples, confident in C.J. Donaldson, confident in Sam Dixon, confident in Bo Jackson, Isaiah West, and Trevor Rogers. I'm confident in those guys. You're just worried about the quarterback. And then not only that, if you talk about your defense going against Ohio State's offense, you have to worry about if you double team Jeremiah Smith or you triple team him like you did last year, Ohio State's going to be well equipped to pick that up from here on out. And they're going to have a game plan situated. Because last year, their game plan, they tried to force Jeremiah Smith the ball a little too much. And they should have found ways. They had ways to get him the ball, but they didn't respond to it. And they look back at that defense and say, okay, next time, this is how we're going to respond to that defense if they do this again. But if you double team Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State, you're leaving Carnell one-on-one. And Carnell blew it up against y'all last year. You are leaving Brandon Ennis one-on-one. And not only that, but now you got to worry about the tight end room. Because what people need to understand is Ohio State's tight end room.
Please leave Max Clare one-on-one. Please leave Max Clare one-on-one.
Please leave him one-on-one. Leave Jelani Thurman one-on-one. Because I've heard nothing but great things about Jelani Thurman. Yeah. How he's been better with his blocking. How his pass catching has been better. How he's looking like what we all thought he could be, which is a freak at tight end. Leave those dudes one-on-one. Will Kazmary, Bennett Christian. Bro, we got some dudes at tight end like Max LeBlanc. Freaking Nate Roberts might even get some playing time. Like, please. Not only that, but the tight ends are finding soft spots in the defense is what they've been doing. So the one thing that tight ends are really, really good at, finding the weak spot in the defense. So it's like, please double teacher. Like, try it if you want to. Ohio State has so many weapons that they could beat you with. And that's what they told you last year. Now, obviously, they could have done a lot better, but because of the penalties and they got out of their offensive rhythm that they couldn't really put it together like they should have. But I wouldn't expect them to play an undisciplined game this year. So if I'm Texas, like, I think that the Ohio State game this year would be like last year's game where it's like 28. If this time Texas has like 17 points, I'd give them like 3 more points. But I think it'll be like 28-17 is what I think it's going to be, because last year's game was supposed to be a blowout. I don't care what any Texas fans say. If it wasn't for the penalties, that Texas game in the Cotton Bowl would have been a blowout.
Agreed.
It would have been. I'm sorry. It would have been a blowout. And how that game played out is how this game is supposed to play out. Except I don't think there'll be as many penalties. Again, I just think you're going to have some hiccups here and there.
Yeah.
So, but if you ask me, I think Ohio State is going to run the ball, and we got the offensive line to do it. Like, bro, I'm so excited because the big meaty men up front, the run game gonna be something. Especially if you have like on the right side where you got these Tagros weight with Ethan and Phillip, because I think Phillip is going to get some playing time. That dude's rise has been amazing.
So,
and it's not to say like Ethan hasn't been good. It's like Ethan's been amazing for Ohio State from everything I've heard. It's just that Phillip's been on the rise.
Can I tell you the big difference after having seen him live in practice? Phillip Daniels has a mean streak like nothing I've ever seen before.
I'm not surprised. I mean,
he is a nasty, nasty, mean man on that football field. And he don't care what color uniform you're wearing, because we saw him going after his own guys. He is a mean, nasty man on the field, and he is going to be a difference maker when he's in the game. Make no mistake. All right, TG.
There's no doubt about it. And are you really surprised? I mean, he's an Ohio guy. When you think about our offensive linemen, our Ohio guys are the nastiest ones. They play with an edge to them.
They're angry.
So if you ask me about this Texas game, I think it's going to be pretty much a defensive game. But I think our offense is going to be able to use the weapons they have to help Julius Taylor out and get him more than the rhythm. Whereas our defense is going to have a field day with that offense. It's particularly our defensive line, which is like 12 deep across all the positions, because we're 6 deep on the D-line and the D tackle, 6 deep at edge rusher. I think we're going to have a field day with that offensive line. But I do expect Texas to probably try to move the offensive line around to help out Arch Manning. I do expect them to do that, but I think our defensive line is going to have themselves a fun game.
Do you think they're going to try to roll the pocket a lot with Arch and try to keep him moving to where he can take advantage of his athleticism?
I think that's what they're going to try to do, because that's where I think that's where Ohio State's biggest problem has always been, would be running quarterback. Because I don't think, like, as much as people think, whenever Ryan Day has lost a game, it's to a quarterback. The one time he did was against Mac Jones, where it was against the best team in 2020, Alabama.
That was a juggernaut.
Never lost to a quarterback. Yeah, I mean, but other than that, he's never lost to a quarterback because of their arm. Like, Texas fans tend to think, I'm like, guys, Ryan Day's never lost because of that. The other time he did was because of Georgia, but that's because the defense kept blowing coverages. So Other than that, no. Like, whatever this defensive play sound, they don't blow coverage. He never loses today. I mean, you saw with Quinn Ewers. Like, Quinn Ewers got an arm, people. He's got an arm. And Ohio State didn't even lose today.
Yep.
But I expect them to keep him moving because that's where it is. But I expect our defense to be better prepared for that with Matt Patricia, unlike they were with Knowles.
Yep, I agree 100%. Hey, TG, thanks for the call. I got to move on. I got 4 in queue yet, and we've only got about 45 minutes left before I have to break off of this and jump over to the live game watch party. So appreciate the call, TG. OH.
I-O. Go Bucks.
And Texas sucks. Well, not really, but we're going to make it look
Texas
that way.
Sucks.
All right, next up, it looks like we got TG's co-host on the Buckeye Lounge. I believe we have one Schrockstar coming up next, if I'm not mistaken.
Chris,
What's happening?
what's up, my brother?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I am feeling pumped. I am just, I'm ready for this. I need this. I've needed this since February. I've needed this. I am done hearing Michigan fans run their mouth. I'm done hearing Texas fans run their mouth. I am done hearing the NCAA run its mouth. And I'm damn sure done hearing Paul Feinbaum run his mouth. I want Ohio State to go out there and walk a mud hole in these guys and walk it dry. I'm telling you. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Don't get me wrong. I got no delusions. They are a solid team. But they are so overhyped. And Arch Manning is so overhyped, I just can't freaking stand it anymore. I want him to go out and shut down the critics.
It's like Christmas Day, man.
It is.
Feels like Christmas. You know, we've waited a year for this. I'm watching game day right now, and they got showing Jeremiah Smith on the field right now. Man, they showed Arch. I tell you, I think they're going to roll the pocket a lot with him.
I think they have to.
If they do. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of three-step drops with him and get the ball out of his hands quick. You know, there's ways that they're going to. He's very athletic. So one thing that Sark is known for when he coached at Alabama, they ran the RPO a lot.
Yeah. So
expect a lot of RPO with Manning. He's a lot more athletic than his uncles were. I mean, he's more. He plays more like what his grandfather played like than what his uncles played like.
And I was going to mention that. I mentioned he looks a lot more like Archie than he does like Peyton or Eli.
Yeah.
But
I mean, let's not forget his dad was a receiver and he wasn't a quarterback. And he had neck problems where he had a.
And honestly, I hear he was the best athlete in the family. Cooper was.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But you know, for me, I'm just looking at this game, Sean, and guys, if you haven't put your prediction up in the chat, please do that, because if anyone nails the prediction on today's show exactly, I'm going to be sending them out some merchandise as a prize. So Sean, let's look at this. I want to take a quick breakdown of these. I've got a couple more callers, but I want to go position group by position group with you, and I want you to tell me who's got the advantage. We'll start with wide receivers. Is there a question there?
No.
I mean, Ohio State clearly is the best wide receiver group in the country by far.
Exactly.
Offensive line, Texas replacing 4 or 5. They've got at least one, if not both tackles injured. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, don't you?
Well, I say us, and I've also heard from some insiders, some sources that we have, that Texas's offensive line hasn't looked this bad in 10 years. So I believe the sources that we have, that that Texas is really struggling with their offensive line right now.
Let's talk.
Shout out to Vader for hooking us up with that.
Absolutely. Let's talk tight ends. You talk about Texas. They got Jack Andrews, who's pretty decent. You got Jordan Washington. Then you got who's a redshirt freshman. You got Spencer Shannon, a redshirt sophomore. You compare that to Ohio State, and this one again, I don't even think it's close, because You've got Max Clare, who is, I believe, the best pass catching tight end in the game. You have
Yep.
Will Kasmerick, who's one of the best blockers in the game and has really underrated hands because he can catch the ball. Christian Bennett. I don't know for people who haven't seen this kid or not. This is a big young man. He is a physical beast. And then you got Jelani Thurman.
Our best.
Yeah.
Last year, Christian Bennett was our best blocking tight end last year. So
far, we are edge Ohio State on all three position groups we talked about, right?
Exactly.
Running backs. Now, we've got a couple of unproven running backs. We got James Peoples. We do have C.J. Donaldson, and I did not do my due diligence, folks. I should have looked what he did for West Virginia against Texas, if they played last year. But we got C.J. Donaldson, we got James Peoples, we've got Bo Jackson, we got Sam Dixon, we have Anthony Rogers. You flip over to Texas, and let's face it, Wisner is a good back. Quintravion Wisner is a good back. And if you look at his season last year, 226 carries, 1,064 yards, 4.7 average, 5 touchdowns. Those are respectable numbers. But once you get past him, you go to redshirt sophomore C.J. Baxter, who in 2023 had 659 yards. He averaged about 4.8 a carry, so that's solid.
That's respectable, yeah.
And then we go to Jarek Gibson, the sophomore, and Clark Christian, the redshirt freshman. And these guys, if you get down that far, again, decent yards per carry at 4.8, 4 touchdowns. They spread the wealth a lot at the running back position in Texas last year. They really did. So
I think they might have us.
I was going to say, I'm going to give a slight edge in the running back room to them just because we have, even though I think we might have better backs, I think we're unproven. I think they got a little more behind them.
I think they got more experience than what we got. So,
and then the last spot on the offense, let's talk Julian Sain versus Arch. Don't people start throwing up 2 games. Arch has thrown 90 passes total in his collegiate career. If I'm not mistaken, 90 passes. Yes. He is 61 of 90. That's 67%. He is 9 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions. He's been sacked 6 times in his limited time. And then you flip over.
969 passing yards.
Yes, he does.
9 TDs, 2 interceptions, and 12 career games.
Yeah. And then you flip-flop over Julian. Julian's numbers, not quite there. I mean, you talk about Julian.
He didn't get the reps.
He didn't have the reps. That was the mistake. 5 of 12, 84 yards, 41% completion rating, 7-yard average. Did not throw an interception. He did throw a touchdown, but just
the Bennett Christian.
Yeah, and I remember that one. That was one of my favorite passes. That was such a great pass. That one went 37 yards, I think, something like that. No. That went 55 yards, actually, I think. It was a pretty long pass.
That was a beautiful pass, yeah.
But, so we know he's got the touch. However, I mean, I'm hesitant to give an advantage to either room on this, but just because of the sheer inexperience of both.
I'll give them the nod just because he's got a little more experience, but I'm not going to say that he's head and shoulders way above Julian because we don't know what Julian can do. Julian could go out there today and throw 5 touchdown passes and throw up 300 yards. I mean, or it could go the opposite way. So
now,
from the experience standpoint, you got to give the nod to Eli, not to Eli, but Arch. But I'm not gonna say it's overwhelming. You know, it's not like they blow us out of the water, like, you know.
Okay, so here's my big question. We get over to the defense, and I think that's where this game's won and lost today is on the defense. Defensive lines. I mean, there's no questioning just how good Colin Simmons is. I think Cole Brevard is a good player as well. And then you start out with, you got Murad Watson and Ethan Burke, who are your other end. I will say this.
I mean,
2 sophomores, 2 seniors. The sophomores got playing time last year. But once you get past their one deep, I don't see a lot to be excited about for Texas. And against this Ohio State team, you're not going to be able to run one group out there the whole game, I don't think.
well, I mean,
And then you look,
all depends on how long they're out there for,
Yeah.
and
which is why the
Yeah,
run game is
I mean-
important, is to keep extending drives, dragging things out.
yeah.
You look at our
the
front,
best,
our
best way
starting. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
best way to neutralize Simmons is to run the ball at
Yes,
him.
exactly.
Beat the crap out of that kid. Run the ball at him. Don't let him run people down.
Yeah, let him
Run
get
it after,
tackles.
beat him up.
Let him get tackles from his spot, but don't give him the advantage. Our offensive line: Kenyatta Jackson Jr., Caden McDonald, Edric Houston, Caden Curry. I've gone on record, as I said, saying I think that Edric Houston is All-American this year. I don't know if he's first team, but I think he is All-American this year. You go into this is where I really like us.
How about Bo? Four.
I was
man.
just getting it. This is
I'm
where I
telling
really
you.
like us. We've got, in our second tier of ends, we have Hicks and Atkinson. In our third tier, you go to Logan George, the transfer, who was very good, and Zion Grady, the freshman. Middle.
I think Grady's going to impress some people this year.
Yeah. To me, I
Don't
give
forget
us the
about
edge on
Epi
depth.
either.
Yes. And you know the funny thing is, Epi is actually listed as the number 5 right defensive end. He's going to see time.
He was ranked, when he was coming out of California, he was the number 1 prospect with the most upside.
Yeah, and he's going to be. He's going to be good.
He's still got a lot of potential to catch up to, but I think the kid's got such a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
And I love that him and Grady are going to be together for 3 years. I think those two guys are going to raise a lot of heck in the backfield, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So who do you like defensive line there? Do you like Ohio State or do you like Texas better on the line? I think they've got the best. I do too. I think they've got the best individual player in Colin Simmons. But I think overall as a group, our group is far superior. Linebackers, man, our linebackers are deep for days.
We have the most athletic linebacker room in the nation, hands down. I think we got the best linebacker room. I think we got the best tight end room, receiver room, and I'll even go defensive back room in the nation.
Okay, so that solves it right there. So to me, Sean, it sounds like out of the 6 levels of that we've talked about, 7 levels, 3 offense, 4 defense, or 4 offense, 3 defense. It sounds to me like you're giving the edge, except in 2 categories, to Ohio State. And I agree with you.
Basically, yeah.
I agree with you. So I'm not so sure what the hell all the hype is about with Texas. This goes down to one thing, and it's what K. Krebs put up here. This is the Arch Manning overhype, and this is overhype about Jim Knowles and Chip Kelly.
Well, what I'll tell everybody is they are overhyped, but they are a good football team. I think they are a top 5 team.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see these guys again in the playoff.
I mean, they could. I mean, all you need is a like they say in poker,
a chip in a chair
to get into the playoffs.
And Ohio State proved that last year. Ohio State, a team that
So,
would
I
not
mean,
have gotten into the 4-team, goes on to win the national championship.
I mean, I think Texas is a dangerous team, and you know what? The more experience Arch is going to get, and that team's going to get, the better they're going to be. So, I mean, they could end up like we did last year and end up, developing it and playing their best ball at the end of the year. Then you're going to face a juggernaut in the playoffs. They got great, in a lot of ways they kind of remind me of us because they have some returning guys that have a lot of experience and are really good. Then they got a lot of young talent that's unproven.
Yep.
So I think they may have a little more experience coming back than we do, and that's why I think they edge us out with when people give them the.
But actually, production wise,
rankings.
Ohio State returns more production than what Texas does. Ohio State is ranked 101 in returning production. Texas is ranked 104. So
let's face it, the one thing that's pushing the charge on this is the last name of their quarterback.
It is, absolutely. Agreed. Hey, Sean, I got to move on. I got a couple more calls, and I've only got I've got less than 30 minutes left before I got to flip over to the game watch. So, hey,
yeah, man.
Enjoy the game today. I will talk to you later. OH.
Hey, can I give a quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to give a quick shout out to Mika and Kiki for
great show the other
job,
night.
ladies, on their great show, guys. Please watch the Buckeye ladies on Thursday nights at 8:00. They rocked. They did awesome. Very proud of them and proud of Vader for a great job producing that show. They kicked ass.
Absolutely.
But OH, brother.
Go Bucks, and them Longhorns
Horns down.
Sucks.
Horns down.
Horns down. Whoops, I almost made a mistake there, guys. I almost canceled us out. I got two more callers in queue. If we have time, we'll take another if we get there. Looks like we got Dave in Tampa coming up next. Dave, thanks for waiting. How are things going, man?
34-20.
34-20?
We're very stay with it. 34-20.
We're very close. I went 31-21.
Kicking this game. And I got one question for you, brother. What is Ohio State's weakest position group?
This is a problem because I'm going to tell you, I don't think we have a weak position group. I think the one that concerns me most right now, quite honestly, is quarterback. I've seen these guys in practice. I've seen footage. I love our defense. Our defense, I think, is tremendous. Some people would say our defensive line is a question mark because of the lack of experience. I disagree. Offensive line, I think we may have the best in the country. Wide receivers and defensive backs, I know we got the best in the country. Tight ends, we're as good, if not better than anybody. I gotta say, our one question mark right now is at quarterback, where I don't think we're weak. I think we're untested. I think we are inexperienced, but we are not weak. I mean, we have a former 5-star quarterback that Nick Saban himself hand chose for Alabama before retiring. We got Lincoln Keenholz, who, if you listen to Ryan Day, has pushed saying all season, and he has the ultimate confidence that if Lincoln had to go in, we would not miss a beat. We got an experienced guy in Eli Brickhandler, who is not going to see playing time. He's there to be a stabilizing influence and kind of a mentor, I think, in this locker room. And then we got the kid. We got Tavian Sinclair, perhaps the best physical specimen we've seen at quarterback since Terrell Pryor. So I have a hard time finding a weak group, to be honest with you, Dave. What's your thoughts on it?
I would say our weakest group would probably have to be the running back room, just because there's such a huge question mark there. As a group, as a room, right?
And I get where you're coming from.
Individual is correct. It's the quarterback position is as an individual, but as a group, right?
Yeah, I can
What
see
would
that.
you say? What do you say? Ohio State's probably their best room that they're going to have on the field today. What is their best room that they're going to have on the field?
Whew. I want to say offensive line. I feel like that's going to be their best group on the field. And I think that's going to help carry what is possibly your weakest group. But I would make an argument it could be that. It could be offensive line, could be linebackers, and it could very well be safeties. Well, wide receivers, of course. I mean, man, I'm going to go with the offensive line, and this is why I say that. Because I think of all those groups I've just talked about, I think the offensive line is the most important. And I think they're going to come out and be the best. I really do. I think they're going to show out in this game.
I concur 100%. Next question. What is Texas's best position group, and what is their worst position group?
I would say their best position group, probably their defensive line, and that's on the strength of one guy for the most part, and Colin Simmons, who's an absolute game wrecker. If we can control him with our best group, I feel pretty good. And their worst group by far is their offensive line. I think their offensive line's a mess. They don't want to admit it, but they've had to replace 4 NFL players. 4 guys went to the NFL from their starting 5 from last year. They brought in some guys. They developed some guys. Your best tackle is down, out for the season. Your other tackle is fighting with a broken hand. I think for me, I think it's probably their 2 lines are probably their best and worst team.
Okay. What is the most critical position group on the field?
The offensive line. That's
your answer, buddy.
That's
it's going to be a long day for them. Think about this, right? I still think that their offensive line is going to be good. Okay.
I agree. I think they'll be decent because Texas recruits talent. Call it what it is.
Exactly. And they'll obviously have the coaching for it, right? Or they wouldn't be that elite, even if they had 5 stars. Right? So if that's their worst position group, and how good do you think that on a scale of good, really good, great, or elite, where would you rank where would you rank probably Ohio State's defensive line out of that?
Right now, I'm going to say really good, but they could come out today and they could easily switch my mind to great. Because I look at Ohio State's defensive line, and if I'm basing it off of talent level, I would say they're between great and elite right now. But if I'm basing it strictly off of pass production, just because so many of these guys do not have that pass production, they didn't get the minutes and the snaps they should have. I'm going to have to give them a little bit lower grade because of that. But right now, I still think even if they're lower grade, they're really good. But this is a team that I think ultimately could be elite.
I concur. And that will be the difference in this ball game. That's going to be the difference in this ball game. And I don't know what everybody's thinking. You're coming into the shoe. It's been a ridiculous week of freaking bull crap. Again, you know what? This reminds me that this year is starting out the way last year ended, right? Everybody's acting like we're just coming off our Michigan loss. You got the stupid nonsense with Portnoy, right?
Which I think he instigated. I think 100% he instigated that. I think him and his goons over at Barstool Sports are the ones who leaked that story because he's such a narcissist. He has to have the attention on him all the time.
You got that nonsense. There were a couple other things that went on this week. That just all it did was just throw fuel on the fire. All it did was throw fuel on the fire for a group of guys that 2 weeks after we won that natty, they said take everything down.
Yep.
that is a locker room that is ready to get after it.
They're
And
focused.
All you did was put a big T-bone steak in front of those hungry dogs all week, and when that dog gets a hold of that, I tell you what, Devo's butt is going to be bruised, very bad. And you don't give a team that kind of locker room press. You don't give a team like this that kind of locker room press. We still have the number 1 and number 2 players in the country on our roster.
Absolutely.
The number 1 offensive player in the country and the number 1 defensive player in the country. Coming to our house. Bring it. OH.
I-O. Go Bucks. Longhorns suck. All right, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Guys, we got one caller left in queue. If we have time after that call, I will take another, but we're going to try to wrap this thing up here in about 20 minutes so that I can hop over to grab some lunch and then hop over to our live game stream. Don't forget that's going to be on. Turn down the sound on the TV. Turn it up, baby. Let's get this thing going. Dr. Corey's going to be leading the way. I'll be there to, do what I do. All right. Looks like we do have one more caller coming in queue after this one. How are we doing, man? What do you have to say about the Texas Longhorns? Because I know you got something to say.
Chris,
What you got?
I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, and I just came all the way from Sunbury, and now I'm stopping in Dublin for a late morning breakfast. And I'm going to tell you what, Chris, I've been hearing Texas run their mouth all week, and it's really starting to me off. You know what, Chris? And I'm sorry I'm going to swear too much on this show, but I'm going to keep it, bleeped out as much as I can, just so you know. But Chris, I hope you signed a waiver for it.
All right.
Texas,
Go for it.
you are coming to get your kicked all day. So you want to go and say Arch Manning is the chosen one. Well, you and your comments. Because we, over here in the 614, home of the best team in the country and home of the 9-time reigning, defending, undisputed national champions, are about to stomp a mud hole in you and walk your dry of it. Stomp a mud hole in your and walk it dry. Jeez, do I got to hear all your comments? Are you a bunch of retarded idiots? Because clearly you guys are. God almighty. Woo.
Well, I'll tell you, man. We've talked about them. They have become of Michigan type proportion this last couple weeks.
You want to say a Michigan proportion type, Chris?
Their fans have become as ignorant as Michigan fans.
Chris,
yes.
Chris, hold on. You're gonna need to step aside from me, buddy. I'm gonna have to lay the hammer down on this one. So you guys who wear the burnt orange are basically retarded Sesame Street students who can't even play freaking football against a good team like Ohio State or Georgia. You lost to two of the best, most physical defenses in the country. Where was the team that we were expecting? Where was the team? Because I know you ain't showing up today. I know y'all are going to be running, and you're like, Ohio State's doing it! We're going to get rid. Oh, I know that's what you're going to be doing all day. Because we're going to be mauling your all day. And that's a damn fact. That is a goddamn fact. God almighty, why do I have to come on here and tell these retards this fact? But unfortunately, they're too delusional to even say anything.
Breathe.
God almighty.
Breathe. Let's maintain. Ooh, bring it down. Don't lose that energy, though. Don't lose the energy, because we need everybody. We need them to hear you screaming from Dublin, man. That's what we need. To have them hearing you in Columbus, screaming from Dublin at the top of your lungs, letting them know that, go Bucks, Texas. That's our calling cry today.
I've been saying go Bucks all morning in Texas. Because they ain't worth a damn. They are not worth a damn. You know what, Chris? I'm going to tell you this. Today, the Manning family's about to watch their prodigy get his kicked and get his mauled all over Columbus by that defense. And Dave Portnoy, I got a couple things to say to that SOB. I got a couple things to say to that SOB. So that son of a wants to come out here acting like he knows. But in reality, he's nothing but a worthless, peace star loving piece of who can't even tell football, who roots for one of the worst teams in college football. And let me tell you, that boy's got more mommy issues than Michigan. Oh my God. Do they got more mommy issues? Hell, I don't even know if what's that quarterback's name? Bryce Underwood? I don't even know if they've got issues or they just got straight up mental issues. But God Almighty.
All right, man. Hey, I got one more caller to go, so hit me with some wisdom to wrap it up. What do you think about today's game?
I said it before, Chris, and I don't know if you ignored my.
No, I heard it. I just want you to wrap it up for me. Put a pretty little bow on it, and we'll send it right on down to Austin.
Austin, I'm gonna tell you this, buddy. I'm gonna hear what you have to say, but you know what? My score prediction: 49-17, and we ain't showing any mercy to them pathetic, no good pieces of up in this house. Since they want to talk up in this house, I am swearing to God, we are gonna kick their ass all freaking day. That's the bottom line, because the Diesel Freak said so. Go Bucks, Texas, because Texas sucks, and they damn know it. Texas. My God, I am loving the day. Thank you, Chris. My God, go Bucks.
All right.
Woo!
All right, Caden, you enjoy that game, my brother. Wow, that was some fire he brought us. We're going to take one more call before we wrap this thing up. And, oh, wow, this one is coming from, I know who this is. This is a guy who I just sent one of these lovely shirts out to. How is Florida today, sir?
It's awesome. It's sunny, puffy white clouds, azure blue skies. I got the TVs on the deck. We're ready for some football. And by the way, there is no way in hell that I can ever match the dude.
Yeah, how do you follow that energy, man? How do you follow that energy?
That was energy in like your store, Ohio State, a whole lot more. That was energy and a whole lot more. Maybe I should say there was energy and a whole lot more.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the it's pretty silly sometimes, but at the same time, I appreciate it because it keeps us from getting kicked off of YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we got our family friendly rating on, so yeah.
Right. Well, sometimes when I do my videos, I put it on. No, it's not for kids.
Yeah.
That way I insulate myself. Now, by the same token, maybe I missed some kids, but some of the things I talk about, the kids don't give a damn about anyway.
So, hey, I gotta throw something out to you. A little something that that occurred yesterday, and it involves your neck of the woods somewhat. How about South Florida trouncing Boise State? Did you see that?
That was amazing.
That was brutal.
Right from the get-go, right? I mean, I didn't watch the whole game. I turned it on, and it was like 31-3 or 31. I'm like, what in the hell is going on?
For all those people who are picking Boise State, man, it's not happening.
USF's supposed to be a pretty decent team. I think this is the third year for their coach Alec Golish.
Yes.
So yeah, and wonder sometimes. People wonder sometimes why Florida State, Florida, and Miami maybe aren't quite what they used to be. But you have teams like UCF years ago they were an up and comer. They would play one game a year against Bama or somebody like that, and they play back in the Dante Culpepper days.
Yes.
But then but then FAU started a team, and FIU started a team, and USF became a bigger name.
Right.
And so all of a sudden the talent gets diluted. Plus, then we pick up 2 or 3 guys out of Florida and Bama and Georgia, and all of a sudden, they don't have all the pickings that they used to have. So, it makes it definitely more challenging for some of those guys. So,
and I'll tell you, Byron Brown looked good at quarterback. Didn't throw a touchdown pass, but he was solid. And they looked solid defensively. They looked very, very good. So yeah, I think South Florida's not going to be a bad player. How about Army going down? That was the other one that shocked me. Army goes down to an FCS team. They went down to
Tarleton State, right?
That's right. Pepe Pearson's coaching over there at Tarleton, coaching the running backs.
Oh, so, is that where he is? He's a running backs coach?
He's the running backs coach there, and they took down Army, which.
And I didn't see the game, Chris. But how did I saw BG won pretty big? Did you see any of that?
I did not get it. I did not get to see the game. I'm hoping to catch a replay of it because I really want to see how Eddie's first game came out. I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised one bit if BG and Eddie George do not win the MAC this season. And I'll tell you what, if they do, look out because he'll be setting up a legacy there for at least the next 4 or 5 years, I would think.
Got to be between them and Toledo, right?
Yep, absolutely. So
doesn't Toledo have a big game today?
You know what? I'd have to check the schedule to see who Toledo's got, but
playing a big opponent. For some reason, I think. I don't know. I don't know if I can see it well.
I'll tell you what. I can tell you they are. Toledo has Kentucky today.
Well,
they're SEC, but I don't know. I don't know if they're a huge opponent. Honestly, I'm going to throw it out there. It's a school that I think Kentucky could win or beat. I'm sorry, that Toledo beat.
I thought we were. Yeah, I thought we were supposed. I thought today was a Scarlet out. I thought the Buckeyes.
It was to be It was supposed to be a Scarlet out today. Yeah.
They're not.
I know. I'm sitting here watching a little clip of the pregame right now on one of my TVs. So. Yeah, but let's get to it. Let's get your thoughts on the game because I've only got about 6-7 minutes left before I got to cut this thing off and jump over to the game watch.
Yeah, no problem.
So hit me with your thoughts on today's game.
Well, for me, I'm nervous. I'm nervous every game. Doesn't matter. But
yeah.
I kind of relate this back to the Tennessee game. Why? Because after the M game, we didn't really know what was going to happen. We had no idea how they were going to come out against Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
And so, we have all the hype. We got all these, this guy's going to be great and that guy's solid, and there's all these expectations. But the fact of the matter is, we don't know. We don't know. We don't really know what.
That's it. I don't think that people know from either side. You're right, because I mentioned it. Neither of these teams is returning more than 45% of their production. These guys have all had the biggest part of their portion of their production go to the NFL.
So for me, I'll go with what Ryan Day said the other day. At this point, if it's not pretty, okay. If we make a mistake here or there, it's okay. We have one goal: win the game.
That's right.
Whether it's by 1 point or 20, win the game. We can correct things later, but we can't correct a loss. So win. That's where I am, Chris. Just
absolutely,
win.
I'm with you.
I don't care how it looks.
And you know,
I know you got to rock and roll.
I
Go
do, but you know, look forward to maybe getting you on a show. Maybe we'll get you on here one of the upcoming game shows. We'll get you on a little bit earlier, and we'll run through a schedule and do kind of like we've done in the past. So
Yeah, and same here because I was going live. I did go live actually on Facebook at 9:30, but there was issues with Facebook Live anymore where it cuts your head off. So I'm working on with Restream.
Yeah.
And I did a Restream test the other day, and this morning I was going live with Restream, and for whatever reason, the things that I did the other day didn't work for today. So, but I'm working that too, so we actually have quality video.
There you go.
You know, yeah. So anyway.
Well, thanks for calling in. You too. Enjoy the game. OH.
IO. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Them Longhorns suck. All right, guys. I'm going to head up out of here shortly. Just want to remind you guys, like, subscribe, share this post. Make sure more people know next weekend we'll be doing the same thing. And guys, let's go out there. Let's enjoy this game. Remember, my friends, we must maintain our cool. We must have patience. We must have a little grace with our young quarterback. He is going to be good. He's going to be great. But he may not look great in this first game. It's like our friend Billy Bob was just saying. We just need to get out there and win. So, see you guys in about 15, 20 minutes over on the game's live stream with Dr. Corey and myself. And until then, OHIO, go Bucks. Horns down, them Texans suck.